Welcome my dear students. Myself A. Venkatesan. In this video, we are going to learn differential geometry. In differential geometry, we are going to see the following: introduction, space curve in various notation, functions of class M, analytic function, and change of parameter. So now we are going to see all the basic terms of these topics. So first thing, what is differential geometry? So differential geometry is the study of space curve and surfaces in their full generality with the help of differential calculus. That is, we study space curves and surfaces with use differential calculus. We call it as differential geometry. And differential geometry having two type branches. One is local differential geometry, another one is global differential geometry. What is local differential geometry? Local differential geometry is the study of properties of curves and surfaces in the neighborhood of point. That is, how to curve behave at a point with respect to the neighboring points. Global differential geometry. It is the study of properties of curve and surfaces as whole. So now we're going to see the space curve, and first one, space curve as an intersection of two surfaces. So in this area we're going to see what is the definition for plane curve. So let us choose two functions, two surfaces, f of x comma y comma z equal to 0 and g of x comma y comma z equal to 0 represents two surfaces. Then these equation taken together the curve of intersection of these two surfaces. This curve is called a plane curve if it lies on a plane. If the curve does not lie on the plane, then it is said to be skew or twisted or tortoise. Next, how to represent the parametric representation in space curve. Space curve in parametric representation. So we know what is the definition for curve. So now we choose that equation of the curve. The curve may be specified by the equation x equal to x of u, y equal to y of u, and z equal to z of u, where x, y, z are real valued function of the real parameter u, which is restricted in some intervals. For example, if I choose x equal to a cos u, y equal to a sin u, and z equal to bu, as 0 less than or equal to u less than pi is a parametric representation of a circular helix. Next one, space curve in vector notation. So we know what is vector. Any quantity having magnitude as well as the direction. So now we are going to see how to represent vector notation in a space curve. A curve in space is the locus of a point whose position vector are relative to a fixed origin that can be expressed as function of single variable parameter, say u. It is represented as r vector equal to capital R vector of u. So now we have to choose the notation. So if r vector is the position vector of the current point P is like on the space curve, then we will write that r vector equal to xi vector plus yj vector plus zk vector. We know what is x, y, z. Therefore, we may write x of u I vector, y of u j vector plus z of u k vector. That is simply we write capital R vector of u. The next one is conversion of Cartesian form into parametric form. So let the space curve be f equal to 0 and g equal to 0, if f and g have continuous partial derivatives, if at least one of the Jacobian differentiate f comma g partially with respect to x comma y, or differentiate f comma g partially with respect to y comma z, and differentiate f comma g partially with respect to z comma x is not 0 at a point x0, y0, z0 on the curve, then the equation f equal to 0, g equal to 0 can be solved for two of the variable in terms of the third one. Now, the conversion of parametric form into Cartesian form. So let the curve be represented parametrically by the equation x equal to x of u, y equal to y of u, z equal to z of u. We require two surfaces to specify the curve. By using the first equation, we can find u equal to f of x. Then substituting this in the other two equations, we get y equal to y of f of x, z equal to z of f of x. Next definition, functions of class M. Let I be the real interval and M be a positive integer. A real valued function f defined on I is said to be a class M, means, or c to the power m function means if f has mth derivative at every point of I and this derivative is continuous on I. Next definition, c to the power infinity or class infinity function. So functions of class m means mth derivative exists at every point of I. So infinity means the infinite number of derivatives exist. That is the meaning. So a function f is said to be of class infinity or C infinity function if it is differentiable infinite number of times. Next one, analytic function. A real valued function f on I is said to be analytic if f is single valued and continuous derivatives of all orders at every point of the interval. The particular type of the function is said to be a class W or CW function. So once again we recall the function of class M means the mth derivative exists. In class infinity means the infinite number of derivatives exist. So now we're going to see analytic function means that f is on interval I is said to be analytic, means f is single valued and continuous derivative of all order at every point of the interval. Next definition, class of a vertex valued function. So we know how to represent the parametric form vector r equal to capital R of u. So the vector valued function r vector equal to r of u equal to x of u, y of u, z of u defined on an I is said to be class M if the mth derivative at every point on I and the derivative is continuous on I, that is if each of its components x, y, z is of class M. So the whole function, the vector is said to be a class M means each component is of class M. So x coordinate has possibly differentiated with respect to some independent parameter up to the mth derivative. Similarly the y coordinate, z coordinate. So each coordinate, that is each component, is differentiable of class M. Next definition, regular. So if the derivative with respect to u is non-vanishing term on I, then if it's said to be regular, that is In this differential geometry, we notate two notation. We are following two notation. One is dot, that is if we are using r differentiate with respect to u, we are using the notation is dot symbol. So we are differentiate with respect to the independent parameter u means we are using the notation is dot. Suppose if you are differentiate with respect to s means we are using the notation is dash. So now we are using dot. If the derivative dr by du equal to r vector dot never vanishes on I, that is if x dot y dot z dot never vanishes simultaneously, then the function is to be regular. The last one, vertex valid function of class M means each component of class M. So like that, if you are said the whole vector is to be regular means each component is non-vanishing of the first order derivative. Next definition is path. A regular vector valued function of class M is called path M. So first order derivative is non-vanishing means it is regular. If mth order derivative is non-vanishing, we have set the path. So now we are going to see equivalent path. So let us take two paths R1 vector and R2 vector of on same class and choose two different interval on I1, I2 are called equivalent if there exists strictly increasing function of class M which maps I1 into I2 and is such that we may write that R1 vector equal to R2 vector composition phi. So this may be written R1 vector of u equal to R2 vector composition pi of u, and this is may be written R by the composition function. We may write this one as R2 vector of pi of u. So any path R vector determine a unique curve and it is called a parameter. Curve u is called a parameter. The mapping pi which relates to equivalent path is called a change of parameter. So now change of parameter. Let R vector equal to capital R vector of u be a path of class M. Consider the change in the parameter u equal to pi of v. Thus we take u equal to the function of v, where pi of v is a single valued analytic function. So what is analytic function? F is single differentiable and continuous on every interval of I. Single valued differential function on every interval of I. So now let us take that R vector equal to R of u, and this may be right, R vector equal to R vector of pi of v, and now we are going to differentiate partially with respect to v because v is an independent variable. So dr by dv equal to dr by du into du by dv. We know u is the single valid analytic function of v. So R is regular with respect to the parameter u. So therefore we may write dr by du is non-zero. By this equation 1, we may write dr by du is dr by dv not equal to 0 if and only if dr by dv is non-zero. Already we know dr by du is non-zero because R vector is regular. So now we're going to say if dr by dv the whole term will be non-zero means, and the second term should be a non-zero. So that is R vector is regular with respect to the parameter v if and only if du by dv not equal to 0. So next problem. So write the equivalent parametric representation for the circular helix R vector equal to a cos u, a sin u, cu, where u lies between 0 to pi. That is the are given R vector circular helix, components are given. A cos u, A sin u, Cu. So using this one, now we are going to frame the change of parametric representation. So R vector is given. That is, we need how to change the parametric representation. Here R vector is independent with the variables u. So first we differentiate the term, and if it is non-zero, we are going to alter the term with another one variable v, and from this v we can rearrange. So now R is given. So differentiate with respect to u. So we can get A minus A sin u, A cos u, and C. So clearly it is not equal to 0 for all u. So now we may write that is R vector is regular with respect to the parameter u. So consider the change in parameter. That is, now we choose v equal to tan u by 2, where v lies between 0 to infinity. That v should be taken from our hypothesis of the circular helix only. So from this equation, we may write u by 2 equal to tan inverse of v. This implies u equal to tan inverse of v. Now we are going to differentiate partially with respect to v. That is equal to 2 times 1 by 1 plus v square. So it is clear that du by dv is not equal to 0 for every v. But we may write dr by dv equal to dr by du into du by dv. From 1 and 2 by the last equation and this one, you can clearly say that dr by dv is not equal to 0 for every v. So that is R vector is regular with respect to the parameter v. And last one we say the R vector is regular with respect to the parameter u, and this is we say R vector is regular with respect to the parameter v. So therefore the equivalent parametric representation of the given curve R vector is a into 1 minus v square by 1 plus v square, comma a into 2v by 1 plus v square, comma c2 tan inverse v, where v lies between 0 to infinity. So the next video we are going to see the further properties and so etc. Okay, thank you.